Say hello to Fuzzz99.
It doesn't matter that the shooter was trans. It actually really sucks that straight cis couples never have to worry about holding hands or kissing in public. Guess who had a little gender adventure yesterday? I did.
You may recognize this creator as he went viral a year or two ago. The videos he posted and continues to post can only be described as the word cringe.
Tell me why. Not one, but two different men hit on me at the club over the weekend.
Today I'll be explaining the full story of Fuzzz99. The video will be split into 3 parts, going through his personal life, online career, and controversy. Let's begin. Not much is known about his life or his upbringing. He goes by the name Mal. He is transgender but doesn't have a gender. I'll let him explain.
Why do I call myself gay if my pronouns are he, they, and I'm dating a girl? Well, the truth. What? Your pronouns don't equal your gender! I can say that louder for y'all in the back if you want me to, too. You can identify as any gender you want and use whatever pronouns make you feel most comfortable. Meaning you can identify as a male, but use she, her pronouns if that's what you like. I identify as just me. Whatever that is. I'm just me, baby. And I like to use gay as an umbrella term, like how queer people use queer for themselves. Because that's what feels right to me. Duh.
He also uses he/they pronouns and identifies as transmasc, which means he was born a female but identifies as masculine, but not necessarily as a man, which is interesting. Like I mentioned, he was born a female. He was also born with a condition called PCOS. This is actually the same condition that Leslie Clark has, if you've seen my video on her. Basically, women born with this condition have periods very rarely. They also have extremely high testosterone, which causes things like excessive hair growth, acne, etc. A side effect of this condition is weight gain, and it just makes maintaining weight very difficult. This is a side effect that he has, as you can see. This condition was very tough for him during his life. He has a patch of facial hair under his chin that apparently caused him a lot of mental anguish while he was growing, as he got bullied for it and it just didn't look right, especially because he was a girl at the time. However, he's grown to embrace it and he's actually growing it out. He was a girl for a majority of his life. He struggled with his identity up until he was 21, when he realized he was gay. But he's not gay in the way you think he is. He uses gay as an umbrella term, which angered many gay people as they think he's invalidating their sexuality by using it as an umbrella term, which is completely understandable on their part. Mal kept his newfound discovery a secret for 2 years, until one night he confessed his sexuality to his mom. But the thing is, he still never mentioned his gender. I'm not sure if he hasn't figured it out yet, or he has figured it out and he just doesn't want a gender. Either way, it's just weird. But one thing that's really important about Mal is that he is a substitute teacher at a high school. Or was. He was apparently a big role model for the LGBTQ kids at his school, being someone that they could talk to about issues relating to their sexuality, their gender, and just any problems they have in general. But his presence at school wouldn't come without problems. Kids were doing things like screaming "I'm glad you asked" in the hallways, which, if you didn't know, is Mal's famous catchphrase.
I'm glad you asked.
They were also doing less funny and more problematic things like skipping class to look for Mal, taking pictures of him, etc. This, of course, is not something the school wanted happening. It disrupts classes, school activities, causes bullying, and just makes a lot of unnecessary problems. All of this on top of 2 screenshots of old thirst traps Mal posted a few years ago caused Mal to get fired from his job. But thankfully for him, he makes plenty of money off of his online career. And speaking of online career, that is this next section. Mal started his online career on TikTok. He went by the name Fanico Ninja and posted his first video on January 26th, 2020. Right before the start of quarantine. It was really interesting seeing the growth and change of this person through the events of the COVID pandemic. You could really see a stark contrast between Mal now and him 4 years ago. One thing I'd like to point out is he has gained a lot of weight over those 4 years. Of course, I understand weight gain during the pandemic. I mean, a lot of people gained weight during that time, but after that, it kept getting gradually worse. This isn't to pick on him or make fun of him. It's just something important to point out, because this weight gain's most likely a byproduct of depression or some other mental illnesses that are obviously damaging him. But back on topic, Mal's TikTok saw some success. He made a YouTube channel around a year into his career. His YouTube channel consists of vlogs and cringy skits and another video that'll be important later. His YouTube channel never showed the same success that his TikTok did, however. He'd go viral on TikTok around 2023. His style of content consisted of cringy, over-the-top videos that are pretty much always centered around LGBTQ issues and topics. That alone, of course, got him a lot of hate, and I'd love to go more in depth as to why people hate him, but that'll be covered in the next section. Eventually, the hate became way too much to handle. According to Mal, there was an incident with a hater where police had to get involved.
I really hate to come on here to make this video. Unfortunately, this morning I had a really bad incident with a hater and had to get the police involved.
And Mal quit TikTok for a while. Here's his explanation.
A lot of people in my life know my current situation right now, and I wish I could talk about it more, but I don't want to and can't really get into it. But I currently am being advised by the police to take a step back from TikTok.
This hiatus lasted a few months. He did come back, but was nowhere near as popular as he used to be. During the time that he was popular, videos made on him were going viral. He basically became a cash cow for a bunch of commentary channels and TikTokers until he eventually fell off. The big reason for this fall off was that he turned off all comments on his videos. One day he made a video basically venting about all the hate comments he gets and begging the community to put him on the right algorithm.
I normally don't make these types of videos, but I am at my wit's end. If you are a nice person or one of my fuzzballs, it would mean the world if you could comment something positive right now. because I mentally cannot handle TikTok anymore. I have a lot going on in my life right now, and I physically and mentally cannot handle the hate on top of all the other things that I'm going through. I literally had a mental breakdown this weekend, and I physically cannot cry anymore because I cried for 3 or 4 days straight. And I had videos that I wanted to post and that I was going to post, but I didn't have the strength to do so. I make and post videos for fun. My content on here is for the LGBTQ community, not straight cis people, unless they're an ally.
This, of course, didn't work, so 2 months later, Mal turned off the comments. He announced that decision in a video, which was kind of his last breath of that 15 minutes of fame. And in case you're wondering, yes, the video was unbelievably cringe.
Hi. Why did you turn your comments off? Well... glad you asked. So first, I would like to say that no! It is not because I got too much hate and couldn't handle it. I promise, I am okay. But I do appreciate all of the people that sent me kind words and lovely DMs, because it means more to me than y'all will ever know. And I truly love y'all, like, so much, like, for real. But I turned comments off because there's a bigger plan already in motion, baby, that only I know about. So stay tuned, baby.
The bigger plan that he mentions was actually kinda smart, although it didn't work at all. The plan boils down to getting the algorithm to shift recommending his content from people who hate on him to young LGBTQ kids, which are his target audience, by not allowing the haters to engage with his content and spread it around further. Mal made a video explaining the whole idea behind it, and it's as pretentious as you think.
I feel like I could talk about this now. This may shock a few of you, but I'm actually a really smart cookie. I graduated college with high honors and was a part of a couple honor societies and had multiple leadership roles all across campus. Everyone knew who I was. I've even had coworkers come up to me at work and be like, "Yo, so you're like actually really smart. Like, I thought you were like one of those people that..." Stop. Do not finish that sentence, because your real IQ is showing right now, because you assumed just because I'm fun and like to be goofy and have fun that I'm not smart. Anyways, all of this hate stuff started at the beginning of July, when the lady behind the infamous hate group, the Libs of TikTok, on Twitter, reposted one of my "I'm glad you asked" videos. And this woman sent an army of hundreds of thousands of haters to my page, where they all attacked with their full might. And then a couple weeks after attacking me, attacked Boston Children's Hospital and sent all her haters after the Boston trans kids and doctors, and you best believe that I still got beef with her. But after all of July and all of August, I was very annoyed with all of these people. They just wouldn't stop, and it wasn't that I couldn't handle it, they were just really annoying. And I tried a few different things that I could think of to try to get my videos back onto my normal algorithm, which is like my safe space and where people like me and not hate me, but nothing worked. But on August 31st, I got word that a new algorithm was coming in September. I figured tomorrow starts a new month, so might as well turn my comments off for the month, and hopefully they'll get back onto the right algorithm with this new algorithm in place. 'Cause that way, hopefully, only the good people will be liking and saving and sharing my videos because they like my content, and the haters would just, "Oh man, another Fuzzz99 video popped onto my FYP. I'm gonna leave a couple words. Oh wait, the comments are off. Well, it's really not worth my time. I'ma just keep scrolling. Bye." But Nah, that didn't happen. Me turning off the comments literally did the opposite. And all the haters became enraged that I took their power to say mean things away. And they started stitching and duetting my videos, which made their followers see it, which made more follower people see it, which then just led to where we are now. And I'm not giving up until I get back to being on my safe space here, and hopefully we're just gonna see what happens.
I have a few observations on this. Number one, I think that someone who's that academically gifted would probably be something more than a substitute teacher. No hate towards subs, they're great. However, if you spend 2 minutes boasting about how smart you are, I'd expect something more than just a substitute teacher and a camp counselor. Or I guess just a camp counselor because he was fired. And in case you were wondering, this plan didn't work out at all. All of his videos are still flooded with hate comments, but he still continues to upload. This has stayed consistent up till this day. He still posts and gets made fun of and hated on, but do people actually have a good reason to hate on him? You're about to find out in this final section. As you may know, Mull is a very controversial individual. A lot of his controversies come from statements he makes in his videos, and a lot of those are messed up and problematic. For example, he seems to have a lot of problems with straight people, seeing them as some type of enemy of his and of the LGBTQ community.
Secondly, I never said I hate straight people. I literally said, like, who would want to be straight? Blech. And like, I literally do not know how to stress this enough. My content is for the gays, not the straights. And as a gay person who grew up thinking they had to be straight, who never saw 1 ounce of any kind of LGBTQ representation in any media, who hated themselves when they realized they were gay, and wished and prayed that they weren't, and then almost took their fucking life, and then after a long time eventually learned and accepted that it was okay to be gay and that you can love who you want to love. Yeah, I would never want to go back to being straight or ever be straight. And a lot of gay people who I make these videos for and who have gone through the same exact things feel the exact same fucking way. So I'm sorry to all the straight people who I offended, but y'all need to realize that the straights have not been kind to us, and I would not give up loving the person I love for anything in this world.
This logic is wrong and very flawed. The vast majority of straight people don't have any problems with him. It's just a loud minority that voices their opinions. And second of all, these people are the reason he has a platform. They're the majority of people viewing and interacting with his videos. He wouldn't have a platform as big as his or a talent agency without them. Not that this excuses the hate or homophobia. It doesn't excuse that at all. But like I said, it's a tiny minority. It's a small minority of the straight population that's hating on you. I've even seen a lot of LGBTQ creators hate on him. And my third and last point about this is that it's causing an unnecessary divide between us. This isn't the case of straight versus gay. It's a case of hate versus you. Like I said, I've seen plenty of LGBTQ creators criticize and hate on Mull, and lumping them in with straight people because you don't want to validate their criticisms is just wrong. This isn't the only anti-straight comment he's made. Far from it. Here are the other two that are noteworthy.
And at like a quick glance, me and her look like we could pass as a straight couple. It's like blah, because like nobody wants to be straight. It like actually really sucks that straight cis couples never have to worry about holding hands or kissing in public.
These two videos are very problematic, of course. The first one is extremely prejudiced towards straight people. There's a difference between not liking them and being straight up bigoted. And again, it's not like straight people are his enemies. It's a very small minority of straight people that hate on him. And being this mean towards them is pretty messed up, especially since straight people aren't the only ones who hate on him. The second clip isn't much better. The context behind it is that LGBTQ couples showing each other affection in public is dangerous, which is absolutely true. However, it doesn't make it right to wish that same misfortune upon other people, and it doesn't make you much better than the people hating on you. These prejudiced comments aren't the only controversies he's been in. If you remember my video on Lily Contino, you'd know that she made content aimed towards kids that a lot of people found predatory. It's a similar case with Mal, although not to the extent of Lily. Anyone with at least one eye can see that his content is aimed towards kids, even though that's not what he claims.
1, I've never once said that my content is for kids, or that my intent has been to make content for kids.
A lot of people had problems with his style of content. They believe Mal is grooming kids into becoming trans. This has been an issue for a while. Many videos have been made on him, claiming that he is a groomer and putting ideas into kids' heads. A lot of people counterpoint that by saying that the kid's parents should be responsible for what the kid watches. This is true to some extent, definitely true in the long term. However, one night of scrolling through Mal's videos is enough to put ideas into the kids' heads, as so they claim, especially since his content is literally exactly what a kid would watch. All of these reasons, on top of Mal's general cringiness, causes everyone to hate him. And, like Mal's career in a year or two, it's time for this video to come to an end. I hope you all enjoyed. If you like this style of content, please feel free to subscribe, and if there's one thing to take away from all this...
This may shock a few of you, but I'm actually a really smart cookie.